Early to bed, early to rise, makes a man young, wealthy, and wise. It's Benjamin Franklin.
Here's a harsh truth. There is someone out there living the life you want, achieving the things you want, simply because they took action and you didn't. You don't need more information. If information were the problem, every single person would be rich, fit, and madly in love. You don't need more information. You need more action. Stop focusing on gathering information and start focusing on acting on the information you already have.
Yeah, this him. Yeah, this the person who's wasting all their time. The one that's choosing to be average. The one that's wasting all their potential. You know, one day you're gonna wake up and be disgusted with yourself, with all the decisions that you made. I just hope that you can live with it. It's between you and you, though.
Most of the time, you're not going to be motivated to do it. Motivation is kind of like runner's high when you're running. When you're running a marathon, you're only going to get runner's high for some of it. For a very small portion, you're going to get that feeling where you're running on clouds and you've got this intrinsic energy and all this stuff. That's a very small portion. When you lose that feeling of runner's high, what, should you just give up on the marathon? No, you just need to have discipline, you need to lock in, and you need to do it whether you feel like it or not. And that's the way having a successful career is. Motivation is great. Sometimes you're gonna get it, but it's fleeting. You need to rely on discipline instead.
Did this out the other day. 90% of problems can be fixed by a good night's sleep, a glass of water, a talk with a friend, or a training session.
Yeah. People don't change until staying the same is more painful than changing. That is why it's great to get into an environment that instigates change, because most of us won't do it on our own. Hey, back check this. Go find that aunt or uncle, and you'll go, oh, right, that's what this looks like. So you want to get around people who push you and challenge you. You want to get around people who are growing and get in that community if you're passionate about growing and you want more from your life. But you aren't going to get more if you don't become more. It's the law of the universe.
My hobby. I treat working the way people treat skiing and vacationing and cooking. It is my great hobby. So when people tried to throw the hustle thing at me, I was like, the receipts exist. Go watch my content. I don't work 18 hours a day to make $1 million for what?
So the real message is that if you can turn your work into something you absolutely love that becomes your hobby, then it doesn't feel like work. So you're not really you're hustling, but you're not really anyway because it feels fun.
I also disagree. You do have to hustle.
That's similar to why cancel culture is getting canceled. That was the manipulation of a word. When the word hustle meant hard work, we all agreed on it. Society manipulated the word hustle into work so hard in such an unhealthy manner that you will get sick or suicidal, all for the chase of money. My definition of hustle is hard work is one of the ingredients to make something happen. That'd be like saying to everyone, good news, you don't need to go to the gym or eat right, and everything is gonna be awesome physically. Not true. This is the biggest issue with cancel culture. It doesn't factor in intent. By the way, I stopped using hustle during that time and just used hard work and work ethic. You wanna cancel work ethic? Knock yourself. I don't give a shit what they wanna cancel. It has nothing to do.
Hear me out, all right? If you want something that you've never had, you have to do something that you've never done. All right, I'm gonna say it one more time. If you want something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. No risk, no reward. All right? So step out of your comfort zone and watch yourself grow. Wahoo!
Create some skills that differentiate you from the marketplace. And then once you build them, the opportunities start coming to you. I think too many people actually are focused on finding the opportunities before they have the skills. I get emails constantly from people being like, hey, what should I pursue? What's this thing? What's that thing? I'm like, well, do you have any skills? What's the skill that you can actually bring to the table? When people ask, they want to come work for me on something, what are you going to do? Are you a video editor or a copywriter? Like, what is the thing that I can plug you into where I know you're going to create value in what you're doing? I think those early years, that's skill building. It's skills first and opportunities.
Your quotes is, when you're winning, you're not as good as you think you are. When you're losing, you're not as bad as you think you are. What's that mean to you?
When you're winning, everybody's telling you how amazing you are. You're the best. You're amazing. You know, you're just better than that guy, and you're better than this guy. And it always takes me back to that quote of Marcus Aurelius, who had a slave that would sit behind him and always whisper to him, hey,
you're just a man.
You're just a man.
You're just a man.
That's right, 40 laws of power.
One of your quotes.
You want a better life. You have got to be incredibly intentional about what you learn. And if you organize what you learn into a framework that the more you learn about it, the more value it creates in your life, that is going to be the quickest and fastest path to realizing a better version of yourself, a better life, and your dreams in general. That's how important organized, purposeful learning can be for you.
The reality is that most people don't change. Most people live the same 6 months 100 times in a row and then they die. They go to the same places, they make the same jokes, they have the same small talk, they work at the same job, and then they die. Because they were never willing to be uncomfortable, because they were never willing to change. And a lot of people get real uncomfortable when I talk about this stuff. But most people are average, and most people stay stuck in the same patterns. They live the same 6 months for 40 straight years and never change. And so if you want to be exceptional, then you will often have to be the exception.
Chase women when you don't know any better. In reality, all you young men out there, listen, I understand, I've been there, I've done it. At the end of the day, you shouldn't be chasing women. Women should be chasing you. How you get women to chase you is, number one, you stop chasing women, okay? Number one, you stop chasing women and you start chasing your potential, working on yourself, start becoming the best version of you you can, the best in health, the best financially, the best spiritually, the best person you can be. You need to learn to grow and develop as a man and stop worrying about the women. And as soon as you don't care about chasing women because you're more focused on larger ambitions and goals, girls, boom, appear.
The only thing in life that stands between you and everything you've ever wanted to do is doing.
Instead of saying to children, don't eat on the couch, we're supposed to say, eat at the table. Pilots know this, right? It is well known in the pilot community that when you tell a pilot, don't hit the obstacle, they'll hit the obstacle. Because what they're doing is focusing on the obstacle. It's the same thing for you. If you focus on the obstacles, all you will see is obstacles. It's your choice how you choose to perceive your own career. It's literally perspective. Instead of saying to children, don't eat on the couch, we're supposed to say, eat at the table. Pilots know this, right? It is well known in the pilot community that when you tell a pilot, don't hit the obstacle, they'll hit the obstacle. Because what they're doing is focusing on the obstacle. It's the same thing for you. If you focus on the obstacles, all you will see is obstacles. It's your choice how you choose to perceive your own career. It's literally perspective.
Does money buy you happiness, or does it buy you security? And does that in itself bring a degree of happiness?
Money buys you freedom, bigger megaphone. Money buys you and makes the pillow softer. Money buys you boldness. Money buys you the ability to not give a flying you know what when people want to bully you. Money buys you a lot of different things. And to me, those things are very, very important. I want to make a better argument later on with my family once we have kids for them to want to come spend Christmas with us. And to do that, there's certain things. Since I was 23, 24 years old, I wrote out what I want my life to look like when I'm a grandfather. I want those guys to want to come and see daddy and their grandpa. Money buys a lot of those things. Now, does money buy permanent happiness? Absolutely not. Am I solving, should man solve for permanent happiness? Absolutely not. There's a difference between fulfillment, a fight you're fighting for, a cause you're going after, correcting an injustice. If a person that's doing something like that, they're not happy most of the time. Matter of fact, the best leaders I've met in my life are the most frustrated, dissatisfied people who hate the position they're in, or the fact that people are being bullied and taken advantage of, that they use the frustration and the boldness to do something big. That's not because of happiness. So happiness is being sold so much as what we should strive for, but I think it's a lot of
in the woods and you don't know where to go, start walking. You got to start walking because the perspective's not going to change. You have to start moving forward. You have to start taking steps in order to improve your vision, improve your perspective, change your perspective, make some kind of progress. And worst case scenario, you figure out that you walked the wrong direction. Okay, now you can go walk in the other direction, and that's going to be fine. But standing there lost and not doing anything is just waiting to die, waiting to starve to death. Don't let that happen.
Stop thinking so damn much and just start doing. Too many people these days think that there's an optimal way of doing something, and they will spend so much time trying to create the perfect plan before ever actually starting something. The best workout plan is the one that gets you in the gym. The best diet is the one that you actually stick to. The best coding language to learn is the one that you actually start coding with. And the best way to build a business is by picking a problem and trying to solve it. The beautiful thing about this is that no matter what you start with, you're probably wrong. Nobody, I repeat, nobody that's successful in anything is doing the same thing they did from day one. But all of them have something that they did on a day one. And from my personal experience, those who are successful, the ones that people are asking for advice, are more biased towards action. They aren't just talk and they don't wait to start something. Which, paradoxically, typically means that they've failed a lot more than the people who look for the optimal solution for the first time. It feels good to do research and to come up with a plan. But if you're learning about working out, or learning about coding, or learning about building a business, none of those things are actually moving you any closer to the goal. So stop thinking so damn much and just start doing.